What's up, guys? This is Benny Ricciardi with FTNBets, and I am very excited to bring you our new same game parlay tool. I'm going to walk you through how to use the tool and also tell you why I'm so excited about this tool and what it's going to be able to help you guys do. So let's take a look at it. As you can see from my screen, when you sign on to the same game parlay tool, this is the page that it's going to bring you to over on FTNBets. A couple things that we got to do for the inputs in order for us to get to the actual plays that we want to put in. So I want to walk you through each one by one. So follow along on the screen. You'll see me here. The first thing we're going to do up here in the corner, you're going to set which prop you're looking for. Points, assists, rebounds, three-pointers, steals, blocks, turnovers. This is obviously the tool for NBA. So these are going to be all the stat categories that you can look at there. Very simple. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the games. It's a small night of NBA games. There's only 4 of them here, so we'll just stick with the first one. But you could pick which game you're looking to build your same game parlay from. Whatever day you come on, whatever sport happens to be going on, you're going to see those teams that are matched up in the same game parlay tool. This way you can pick which one you want. And we'll pick a different one than the one that's already here. If I pick Cavaliers and Nets, what you're going to see is everything on the side is going to come out Cavaliers and Nets. So now instead of all of the Knicks and the Magic, we're going to get all the plays from the Cavaliers and Nets game. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to be able to pick which book you want to put it on. The lines are going to be different on every one of the books, so you may not get the same lines on DraftKings as you do on MGM, on FanDuel, on Sugar House, on PointsBet. So we have them all loaded in here. You pick which one you want. I'm just going to stick with DraftKings here. It's easier for me to talk about it that way. So before you do anything, the first step you're going to do is go through those tabs at the top, pick which prop you're looking for, pick which game you're looking for, pick which book you're looking for, and then those will all be preloaded for you into our tool. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to the actual tool so I can show you guys how this all works. And I think this is pretty cool. So again, when you're building a same game parlay, there's different things that you're going to pick. Obviously, it's a same game parlay. So all the picks are going to be from the same game. But that doesn't mean you have to pick all points props or all rebound props. So Mikal Bridges has been a guy who's scoring pretty well. So let's add him into our same game parlay. So we're going to click the positive button here. And you're going to see that Mikal Bridges is going to come over to the side and now be listed in our bet slip. So let's say on top of points, the next thing I wanted to do was, I don't know, let's say we want to do 3-pointers as the next one, for example. So we're going to click the prop for 3-pointers. We're going to get all the numbers for everybody there. So we'll add in Donovan Mitchell 3-pointers here. So now we built the same game parlay with Mikal Bridges points scored and also Donovan Mitchell 3-pointers. You're going to see over here, when you click on the little positive button, it's going to put it in the bet slip. And when we go down to the bet slip, now we're going to try to find out what the odds are, the true win percentage is. You got to pick over or under first. So let's say we like Mikal Bridges to go over his 27 points here, but we like Donovan Mitchell to go under 2.5 3-pointers. You just click on the button here, and as you can see, it'll toggle from the over to the under side. This way it can calculate the odds. Now, there are some things that are going to be correlated, some things that are going to be non-correlated. That's why you got to kind of figure out what the true win percentage of each of these will be. So how do we do that? Very simple. We're going to do it for you. Just click calculate odds. So when we click calculate odds, what we're going to see here is that the win percentage of this bet is 30%. The true odds that we should be getting paid on it are plus 230. So now you can go over to DraftKings, was the sports book that we used here. You put it into DraftKings and you see what the true odds are. If DraftKings is only paying you plus 150 to take this bet, then it's obviously not something that we want to bet because plus 230 is what the true odds should be. If DraftKings is paying us, I don't know, plus 275, for example, then we know that we have some value here because we think the true odds should be 230. Anything that's better than plus 230 means that we have an edge on this number. So that's something that we're going to look at. Now, here's the best part about this tool, and I think this is what sets our same game parlay tool apart from everybody else's. Let's say you have two things that are just as likely to happen, 50-50 chance plus 100 odds on them. If you just did a standard analysis like the same game parlay that most people are using, you're going to get that event A has a 50% chance likelihood of happening. So if there's 100 times that you play a game, 50% of the times that thing's going to happen. And then you would also say, well, the second event that we're looking for, in this case, Donovan Mitchell threes, maybe that's also a 50-50 chance of happening. Well, if 50 times out of 100, the first event happens, and the second thing is 50-50, your typical same game parlay calculator is going to tell you that the true odds are 25%, or, somewhere along those lines, plus 300 would be the number. The win percentage would be 25. The problem with that is it doesn't take into account that some things are correlated and some things are not correlated. So what we did to get around this is we ran thousands of simulations based on our projections over on FTN Bets. And what this tool is doing is it's querying those thousands of simulations to find out exactly how many times Mikal Bridges went over and Donovan Mitchell went under in those thousands of simulations that we ran. So they're not just giving you a number based on a standard sample, it's giving you here's how often it happened based on our projections, which is more of what really happens in real life. A lot of times, if you're betting two guys, a great example is football. If you're betting a quarterback to go over his passing yards, well, there's going to be some pass catchers that also need to go over their receiving yards. So those two things are highly correlated. In basketball, there's a lot of different correlations. Maybe, one team under in scoring because they're missing a lot of shots, and the rebounder on the other team going over in his rebounds. Maybe it's a guy who, a guy like Bismack Biyombo on the, Phoenix Suns, who's always going to go, under his scoring unless he's getting fed a lot of alley oops. And it might be highly correlated with Chris Paul assists because if Chris Paul isn't giving him those assists, Bismack Biyombo isn't scoring points. So certain things are going to happen more than just random chance would say they are. And that's really what we're looking for here. We're trying to find things that are correlated. And if they're correlated, then we're going to be getting better odds on those things than the book is because the book may not be factoring in the same correlation as we are. And that's why this is such a great tool because it's not just taking two things that are 50% likely to happening, putting them together and saying 25% of the time it's going to go over. It's actually telling you these two specific events, when you put them together, are more likely to happen than reasonable chance would say they are. And that's really what we're looking for. That's where we're going to be able to find value. And that's where we're going to get the best odds. So get over to FTN Bets, check out the same game parlay tool, play around with it for a little while, and I think you'll see it's one of the best tools in the industry.